Ganymede University is one of the oldest and most prestigious educational institutions in the solar system. It can trace its roots all the way back to old Earth's Harvard and Oxford and MIT. In the large lecture hall, Professor Maya Barkley, the Dean of History, is winding down the evening's open lecture on the human history of the solar system.
And about 500 years ago, the Earth was declared dead. But, as we've already discussed, the human race had been building new homes for longer than that. The final Exodus ships left to join the rest of humanity among the newly established 7 kingdoms of the solar system. The Mercury Collective, the Venusian Free States, and the Malleus Imperium of Mars were the first human settlements, followed by the Outer Worlds, the Jovian Ascendancy here on Jupiter, the Cronian Republic of Saturn, the Uranian Federation, and the Neptunian Conglomerate. And of course, there were the groups who chose to live independently of these kingdoms, either in the asteroidal colonies of the Belt or further out where they formed the various Kuiper Belt tribes. At the moment, I dare say, the system is at peace, although I suspect that may be less thanks to diplomacy and more due to the fact that it's significantly harder to start a fight with a neighbor when there are several astronomical units of space between you.
This gets a polite chuckle from the assembled students. She concludes her talk, gives a quick announcement of extra credit for her students in attendance, and then leaves the podium. The assembly of students, faculty, and guests start to stand up, gather their belongings, and walk out the back door of the auditorium. Except for one man. Wearing a storm gray cloak, pulled tightly so that it obscures most of his face, he continues to sit in the back until everyone leaves. He slips his data pad into a pocket hidden within the fold of his clothes, and then gets up and walks toward the stage. The hall is empty when he slips backstage through the door that Professor Barclay just used. Hey, welcome to The Role Less Taken. This is an actual play RPG podcast. I'm your MC, Graham, and I'm here with my 3 good friends. Care to introduce yourselves?
No. Okay, yes. Hi, my name's Mike. I like music and books and games and tasty food.
Ooh. My name is Megan. I enjoy long walks on the beach, puppies, and kittens.
My name is Perry, and I did not prepare a dating profile.
All you have to do is talk about things you like.
Yeah. Not hard. Like philosophical debates, quantum physics.
And grilled cheese.
Exactly.
So, Graham, what are we doing?
We are going to play some off-the-beaten-path RPG systems. We're starting with one called Weave. It's made by Monocle Society, and it's an app-enabled card-based RPG system. It's loosely inspired by tarot. You've got cards that you scan, and they will pop up different options onto your screen as I'm the storyteller. I'm getting options about the setting, about the location, about the sort of background world, and about the main conflict that the episode or play session is going to have. And as you guys are the characters, you had options about your character, like your character's backstories, your talents, a couple of flaws, and a signature move, and you also got to pick a couple of items from these cards. We'll be playing in the Solar Age playset, which is an homage to like classic sci-fi and space opera. It's set in our solar system after humanity has kind of moved on and colonized the other planets and messed up the Earth a lot. Want to tell us a little bit about what you guys came up with?
My character is named Bo Crescenzo. I'm not going to go, and I don't think any of us are going to go into true full detail on our characters because, we're just going to spoon feed you a little bit. And then as we go through and play, more little tidbits will come out. Guns and fire. So I'll go into my inventory first, and I'll share both items in my inventory because they're both pretty standard. I have a V18T longbow sniper rifle, as well as a K&T Model 12 incentive heavy revolver. So Bo's packing in multiple senses, and I built him basically to be a gunslinger. So I'm going to name some of my talents. I won't read the descriptions, but you'll get the idea behind it. I have uncanny accuracy, sleight of hand. I also have pyrotechnician, as well as professional. And I will name off one of my backstory qualities, again, not to go into detail, but this was pretty sweet because it's called Fastest Gun in the Seven Kingdoms.
Ooh.
So, just, these are things to keep in mind as we get set up in our story and we introduce our characters. But I think, as far as appearance goes, it's pretty simple. In my head, I picture, like, I don't remember when the movie came out, but Saturday Night Fever era John Travolta. He wears suits, but the button-down shirt underneath is probably unbuttoned, 3 to 4 buttons. He's got slicked back black hair. He's got a little shitty tuft of hair on his chin that looks terrible, but he thinks it makes him look masculine. You know, all that good stuff. But beyond that, I think I'm just going to let everything else come out as we play, which means that the person to go next is actually my character's partner in-game. So we should probably get into that.
What up? I don't know why I introduced myself that way. Anyway, so I am playing a character by the name of I.O. Jewel, who is, as Mike or Bo said, is his partner in crime. Definitely. Anyway, so when I was developing IO, I was going for a warrior not only with brawn, but also brain. So just to kind of go over some of my talents, again, like Mike, I'm not going to go into my backstory just because I think it's super cool and I want to see that unfold. But for talents, I have transhuman physique. So I look like and I can bend metal with my bare hands. Weapon master, multilingual. I'm an observer, also a negotiator, and then 2 truths make a lie, which I'm really into. And it's hard to have someone pin you down on calling you out if you already have another story to protect you. So, I don't know. That's what I was going for. I think it works. As far as appearance goes, I wrote this like super scripted introduction that I'm going to read for you guys, but now I know it's going to sound super robotic and planned. But as far as Io is concerned, for a woman, Io is an imposing figure. She stands just under 6 feet tall and has a muscular physique to match her frame. Io is clad in slightly loose-fitting gray pants that are held up by a black belt and holster and wearing a black bomber jacket. Her look is very utilitarian, and if not for a greasy, ragged-looking yellow graphic t-shirt and untied boots, you might think she's former military. And she has icy purple locks that are often tied up into a ponytail, and the sides of her head are freshly shaved. Also, my jacket, or Io's jacket, hides a jerry-rigged prosthetic arm and a variety of colorful tattoos. So that's Io for you. And again, I am Bo's partner in crime.
Is your prosthetic arm tattooed?
No, just my body.
Okay.
Yeah. That I have tons of stickers, and it's definitely bedazzled and googly eyes on the prosthetic.
Okay. Perfect.
I think when you tattoo a metal arm, it's just called a decal.
I mean, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
You've got the two googly eyes are on the side of the hand, so you can do the like talking hand thing.
Oh, yeah, exactly. One thing too, I think I only brought it up in our conversations. With my prosthetic arm, there's a Roman numeral for the number 4 engraved on it. But that's it. I'm done.
So my character's name is Jane. And honestly, when I was developing Jane, I was mostly bitching about being boxed into a bunch of backstories instead of being able to develop them myself. Which is to say nothing against the game. I just always, anytime I'm introduced to something new, it always takes me a long time to come around to liking it. But now I like it a lot. So once I sort of emotionally like zened myself into coming to terms with my backstories, my biggest goal in creating Jane was to figure out how to make her as good of a mystery as possible. So I'm not going to go into her backstory too much, because the mystery was kind of the whole point with Jane's character. And I'm really into... It's just so fun. And I'm just really into character creation, so I just wanted to make her kind of interesting and something that could be dynamic throughout the course of the game. In terms of information I will say about her, so physically, from a distance, Jane has an androgynous look. She could be either male or female. She's rather tall, though not as tall as Io, and scarecrow-like, and her cheekbones have kind of a hollowish tinge, and she looks like maybe she's missed a meal or two several times over the course of a lifetime. She wears a black tunic and black pants, which are reminiscent of the what priests wore on Dead Earth. Her hair is also black, and it's just jagged and unkempt and not cut very well, but still rather short. And everywhere she goes, or almost everywhere she goes, Jane carries a very ragged burlap teddy bear, which is just like the most hideous teddy bear you ever laid eyes on, and it's very patchwork and fraying, and it's got like eyes that are two different size buttons that don't match, and one of the buttons is cracked, but she's very protective of the teddy bear. And Jane makes her living as a treasure hunter, and all of her means are provided for by a mysterious and wealthy benefactor. But because she hunts treasure, she has a lot of knowledge of the different corners of the solar system, which sort of relates to the talents that I was given when we were drawing the cards in the character creation. So I'm a navigator, very good at finding my way around. And I have, because I'm a treasure hunter, I have a lot of knowledge of just human societies and Dead Earth. Also, in facial features, Jane is sort of blessed with the unfortunate coincidence of looking like a very famous journalist named Esford Cade, which she finds to be incredibly inconvenient because she is misrecognized everywhere, and in certain situations it makes her work very hard to do.
So the Vagabond is currently landing on Ceres, the largest asteroid in the asteroid belt. So Bo and Io are kind of letting Pixel take care of things. Is that correct?
Always.
Yeah, definitely. Right. I'm not doing anything.
Okay. Pixel is the ship's AI, who mostly handles running the ship and making sure that they don't crash land into stuff. And where do we find Bo right now?
It's early morning, or mid-morning, I guess. No one likes to get up super early. And it's hard to tell what time it is in space. But Bo is probably getting ready for the day. And basically that entails, you see him as he's just finishing getting dressed and putting himself together, I guess I would say. He's wearing a powder blue, almost like a leisure suit, with a black shirt underneath. He's got a holster around his waist that's got his good old revolver in it. He's staring into the mirror, slicking his hair back with a comb. And as he puts the comb down, he looks into the mirror, snaps his fingers, and gives himself some finger guns. And on his bed, you can see he doesn't put it on, but on his bed, with a strap around it, is his sniper rifle. But at this point, why would he need that?
Why wouldn't you?
It's there, it's ready, it's prepared, it's always prepared. But when you're going to meet someone new, first impressions are important, and having a sniper rifle on your back is probably not the best.
I disagree, but, whatever. Potato, potato.
We can
I have
discuss
this
this
vision
later.
of, Bo sort of doing the finger guns
Going,
into the
pew,
mirror,
pew.
Being like, aren't you the most respectable guy ever was seen? How respectable
I imagine it's
you
probably
look.
more like, look at you, you beautiful piece of shit. You're the fucking best. Get out there and show him who's boss.
I really hope that's the pep talk that Bo gives himself.
Every morning.
With a toothbrush in his mouth.
It's the pep talk I give myself every morning, so...
I should probably stop gesturing between my face and the mic.
Yeah.
That's gonna be fun for you later.
So for our listeners, we can see each other. You can't see us. How's that feel?
It is pretty great.
Yeah, Bo is ready for the day and is probably going to head out to the mess hall because breakfast is important.
Dare you say the most important meal of the day?
you dare might say that. I don't know if that made sense grammatically.
I think that's the title of episode 1. We should title episode 1 that.
I dare you might say that.
I'm okay with that. I'm into that.
Well, I dare that you dare that I dare.
I double dog dare you
Ooh.
to tell me what Io's doing.
So Io's currently hanging out in her bunk. She's been up for several hours, and she's currently sitting at her desk with like a magnifying glass out, observing her revolver that is similar to Beau's, only a little bit more expensive looking.
Yeah, fuck you too. All right.
It's slightly it's gilded and has kind of like fancy engravings, and has the same Roman numeral that is on her prosthetic arm is also engraved into the handle of the gun. It's the Roman numeral 4. But yeah, she's been tinkering with that, cleaning it, putting it back together, getting ready to begin her day. So as she gets up from her repair desk, I guess you would call it, she kind of takes the gun, spins it on her index finger like a gunslinger would, and then like puts it into the holster.
Come on, what are you doing here?
I just want to one-up you on everything.
All right, we'll see how that goes.
So, she finished cleaning it, putting it back together, puts it in the holster, and then leaves her cabin to head to the cafeteria to meet Beau for breakfast.
So after you both arrive in the mess hall and get your meal from the algae dispenser that comes standard on every ship.
Yum.
Tasty wheat.
Yep. You guys can, of course, buy normal food, but the algae dispenser is free.
Yeah, I mean, why would we?
Free is the best.
In the sort of corner of the mess hall, on sort of a cushion that Io probably bought at some point, is the 140-pound cat that lives on the ship with you guys and helps keep it, free of space rats and whatnot. It is a space cat named Dr. Parsnip.
Oh, boy.
Beau is fairly indifferent towards Dr. Parsnip. He doesn't hate Dr. Parsnip, but he also doesn't love Dr. Parsnip. It's very much a you're there relationship.
There you are.
So Io walks in, seeing the wonderful, magnificent, regal as all hell Dr. Parsnip sitting
It's
on
a
her...
fucking cat.
What?
Nothing.
Anyway, before I was so rudely interrupted, Io sees Dr. Parsnip sitting on the bed or what have you, and just makes a beeline for the cat, and just immediately, like, demeanor changes, goes from, like, stoic and quiet to just, like, melting away and totally, like, in this love mode, and just looks at Parsnip and goes, "Oh, there's Mommy's little angel baby. What are you doing there? How was your night? Did you get any rats? Huh? And just, like, crouches down to start petting Dr. Parsnip.
A common occurrence on the ship is it appears that Beau talks into just dead air, but he's actually talking to Pixel, who is an omnipresence on the ship. And even if he doesn't get a response, it's good to know that someone's listening. So basically every time this happens, and it happens a lot, which is Io crooning over Dr. Parsnip, Beau just likes to mutter, "Yeah, you seeing this shit? That's fucking incredible. What is that? How does that fucking happen? I don't understand it."
I believe that is the emotion you humans call love.
Ha! Yeah, like that frigid bitch is capable of loving anything. Jesus.
You guys are the best of friends.
We're partners. Get it right.
Pixel responds to your comment by simply informing you that you will be arriving at the Ceres space dock within about 5 minutes. And your appointment is for about 15 minutes from now.
Io stands up at this point from Dr. Parsnip, giving, like, one final, like, scratch under the chin, and looks at Beau. An appointment? What appointment? What are we doing? Why are we going to this planet?
For fuck's sake, are you kidding me? You know
Why?
about this, right?
No, I'm just asking you for fun, Bo.
Do you read any of the messages I send you?
You know how I feel about technology.
Do you know how to read?
And I just slowly put my hand on my revolver.
Anyways, we are here because I've been putting out... I told you about this. I put out an ad. We're looking for someone to join the crew. And someone answered, and I gotta say, it's probably gonna be like, I scratch your back, you scratch mine thing, because what she told me is that, yeah, she'll pay us, she'll join us, but it might be a limited time thing. I don't really know. She kind of needs to get someplace.
But do we really want to bring this kind of attention to our ship?
What kind of attention?
Do we really need to bring on another body? It's going to get more and more complicated.
I mean, I barely know how to do anything on this ship.
Do we know anything about this person?
We know she's got money.
I mean, I guess that's all we really need to know.
Fucking sold. Let's go.
Is there anything either of you want to accomplish before you land and meet your contact?
No.
Bo's gonna go back to his room and grab his rifle.
Oh, no.
It's just on his back, you know?
Making a great first impression. So the ship lands in this Ares space dock, and after a few minutes, the hatch, opens, the ramp goes down, and you guys can exit through the cargo bay, and you see, a familiar scene. There are about a half dozen or so landing pads, some of them filled, some of them not. There are people bustling around, carrying goods to shipping yards, to onto ships. There are people, trying to sell parts and fuel and whatnot. And
every time you give this description, it is so patently clear that you've never been on any dock of any kind.
Well, it's
Just
a
saying.
space dock.
It's a
How
Star
many have
Wars.
you
Been on a
on,
space
Barry?
dock.
It's a Star Wars dock.
Yeah.
Space.
It's like the dock in the Death Star. No, it's not. Where do we find Jane?
Is it time for the appointment yet, or are they still a few minutes early?
I think it's right about time for the appointment.
If it's the time for the appointment, like when the ramp comes down, they find Jane seated just outside the perimeter of the dock, just sort of like sitting cross-legged peaceably on the ground with just a standard sort of canvas travel pack seated next to her, and the foot-tall, ugly teddy bear seated in her lap.
So we can see. Well, actually, we don't actually know who we're looking for. So,
You probably have a name.
Well, did
You
you
just
the
make a
email.
sign.
Are you guys already like exiting the ramp?
yeah, Bo comes down the ramp, and as soon as he sets foot on the ground off the ramp, you see him pause and look down for a second, kind of confused, and then put his hands on his hips and just be like, "Huh, didn't fucking think this one through."
So Jane stands up and comes over, and when she stands up, she slings her bag over her shoulder, and as she comes over, you can really clearly see, since she's not wearing any belts or other accoutrement, that she's completely unarmed, and it doesn't look like the bag is big enough to hold a gun of any significant size. And she comes over and just sticks out her hand and says, "Bo, I presume?"
Yeah, oh, perfect. You're Jane, right?
Yes, that's me.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm Bo. Bo Crescenzo. You can call me Bo. You can call me Zoe. But I guess you can basically call me whatever you want. You got a last name there, Jane?
My last name is Two. Jane Two. It's a very boring name, I'm afraid.
Two.
You can call me Jane.
Like the number 2.
It's spelled that way. Yes.
Is there a Jane 1?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. So, this is
It's a
this is
family
my-
name.
this is my partner, and I jack my thumb over my shoulder, just this is my partner, Io. Just her name's hard to say. I call her Mooney, but just I nudge Io. Shake the woman's hand.
No. And you can call me Io.
Come on, Mooney, for fuck's sake. You're trying to make a good impression here.
No. No, I'm not.
I'm trying to make a good impression. You're fucking that up.
Well, you can do that for the two of us.
Yeah, it's going real well.
And I just stare at Jane.
Jane appears unperturbed and just says, "It's nice to meet you, Io."
Okay, great.
Bo keeps looking back and forth between the two of them like a tennis match. Just like, okay, this is going good.
Jane waves with the little teddy bear arm waving.
It's going even better.
What's that thing?
Oh, Jesus.
It's just one of my possessions. The bear does not have a name. The bear is it's just a keepsake. It's nothing to concern yourself with.
Keep it away from me.
Okay. I think I can happily do so.
What, you don't like stuffed animals? You love the fucking cat.
There's a cat.
Oh, yeah, are you allergic to cats? That might be important to know.
No, I'll just
Tread carefully.
I'll just be sure to lock up my very shreddable keepsake.
Yeah, we got this cat. It's Dr. Parsnip. She's a big cat. Like, you know, cats used to be small. Like, hundreds of years ago, they weighed like 8 pounds. This motherfucker weighs like 140 pounds. It's ridiculous.
I will be sure to keep that in mind.
Well, may as well show you around. Bo starts to walk up the ramp.
Jane follows. Teddy bear clutched to her chest.
And I follow behind Jane.
All right. As you get on the ship, Pixel comes over the loudspeaker and says, "Welcome aboard, Jane. My name is Pixel. If you need anything, please let me know."
Thank you, Pixel. It's very nice to meet you, too.
Yeah, definitely let him know, because he knows everything. I barely know my way around this thing, and I've been living on here for like a couple months. Shit's confusing. Hey, Pixel, are you around? Like, is your body around? Is that, where are you? Start looking around.
So creepy.
After a second, the casing that Pixel uses to operate, things on the ship comes around the corner. You're very welcome.
Could you give a tour? I kind of need to have a conversation here.
It better be with yourself, Bo.
No.
Jane just, like, sort of, almost as if in blissful ignorance, follows Pixel into the rest of the ship.
Pixel guides you to your cabin first.
Excellent. So, I just arrange my stuff, and my room has a safe.
Yes.
So I open the safe, which is a little bit too small for the teddy bear, but I sort of, not lovingly, but clearly with some care, fold it into a size and then cram it into the safe. And then I take something out of my pocket about the size of a coin and put it right at the very edge of the safe, and then I close the safe. And then I leave my shit on the bed and follow Pixel to wherever else.
Bo and Io, what are you guys talking about?
I don't know. What are we talking about, Bo?
Bo starts to reach out to grab Io's shoulder on her real arm, but stops and pulls his hand back and then reaches out with the other arm and starts to grab her prosthetic arm, then also stops and runs his hands like awkwardly through his hair. He's like, "Look, I know that you're not the most sociable person, and that's okay. I understand that. But you're being awfully difficult here.
Did you really expect anything else, Bo?
Maybe just a touch, just a pinch of like, hey, how you doing? Just kind of being a little, have a conversation where you're not so goddamn confrontational all the time."
I think I was pretty cheery for myself.
I think you spoke 5 words.
And your point?
That is not a conversation.
Alright, I mean, next time I see Jane, I'll give her the old, "How you doing?" And we'll be good, right?
I mean, For some reason, I feel like you two are gonna just be the best of friends, right?
Oh, yes. Regular old chums.
Your sarcasm is noted and not
We'll
appreciated.
paint each other's nails and talk about boys.
I would pay money to see that.
Look, Bo, I know this is a payday for us, but I don't like new people.
Well, if you fucking talk to her, she won't be new anymore. That's how that works.
I don't know why or how I even ended up with you.
You know. We're not gonna go over that.
It was just a series of poor choices.
That's also true. But here we are.
All right. I'll try to make this work. I'll give her the how you doing, and I'll tell Parsnip to leave her alone. But I don't trust her.
Well, maybe if you talk to her, you will trust her.
Oh God.
I mean, you trust me, don't you?
I mean, yeah, totally. For someone who hasn't told me anything about themselves.
I've told you plenty. You know I don't like broccoli, right?
That's a new fun fact that I don't care about.
But, I mean, I'm telling you things, and that's what's important here.
No, okay. And I'm also tired of this conversation, so if we're done, I'll be on my way.
Alright. Whatever.
Jane is getting a tour from Pixel, who has just shown her the medical bay and remarked that AIs are non-binary, given that they are basically robots. They are programmed with most basic rudimentary medical procedures. There are probably a few things that you might need to go to a hospital for, but you can rely on them in case you get beaten up. And now they are taking you toward the mess hall by way of the cockpit.
So, yeah, that entire conversation that Bo and Io had took place in the cargo bay, basically at the top of the ramp. They didn't go anywhere. Mm-hmm. So, Bo is going to head to the cockpit, basically, to get moving, I guess.
Okay, what is Io up to?
Io is going to head back to her quarters to be alone. She's kind of annoyed with Bo and wants nothing to do with the Jane at this point.
Too much social interaction for one day.
I know that feel.
So in the cockpit, I'm just gonna say I imagine, but there's probably what's the word I'm looking for? An intercom, or basically a PA, I guess.
Yeah.
That I can hit and broadcast to the whole ship. So Bo hits the button. Are you guys? Hold on. Shit. Fuck. Where are we going? Oh, son of a bitch. And then he clicks it off. He goes, Pixel, where did you take Jane?
Jane is currently in the mess hall.
All right. And Bo is going to head over to the mess hall to talk to Jane, because he doesn't actually know where the fuck we're supposed to be going. Bo is heading to the mess hall where Jane is to have a dialogue.
Yes, Jane is standing on a tabletop staring at the cat.
Bo walks in, just stops dead in the doorway, seeing the situation as, oh, I see you met Dr. Parsnip.
Yes, it either purred or growled at me.
Okay, so Jane is standing on the table, staring at the cat. Bo's standing in the doorway, and in response to the purr or growl, Bo says, yeah, I haven't learned to tell the difference yet either, to be honest. And he clicks on the personal comms on his shoulder, and it's like, hey, Mooney, can you come and get the cat, perhaps?
Io just clicks on her comm unit, and one does not get the cat, Bo.
Can you come appease the cat? The cat is currently threatening our guest.
And why do you say Dr. Parsnip is threatening our guest? Has she done anything menacing?
Oh, fuck, I just walked in here. She's standing on a table. The cat is staring into the depths of her soul.
Fine. And Io just turns off. the comm unit and storms out of her bunk.
I click mine off. I'm like, don't worry, Jean. Io's coming to take care of the cat. I know she does not seem like the most sociable, personable person, but she got a real connection with that cat.
I understand. I'm sure I'll get used to it in time. I'm afraid I have much more experience with dead pets than living ones. That didn't come out the way I meant it to. Forget I said anything.
You want to try that one again?
I had a goldfish when I was small.
Oh, those things fucking die all the time. You throw your ball in a cup, you get a fish, it's dead in 24 hours. I get where you're coming from.
That's exactly what I meant.
And at this point, you just hear, like, Io stomping up the hall.
I don't grab Jane, but I get closer to, like, whisper in her ear, and it just says, I did have a conversation with her to try to be a little bit more, friendly, but now might not be the time. So, just, you do what you want. You're your own person. I trust your judgment, but just tread lightly, you know what I'm saying?
She seemed perfectly amiable to me.
Did she? Man, you guys are... we got different definitions of that word, I think.
Io just walks into the mess hall and, again, just heads straight for Dr. Parsnip, and immediately, again, the same thing. Melts away, no longer upset or annoyed. Aw, Dr. Parsnip, were these mean people bothering you? Did they pet you? Huh? Did they just ignore you? Did they give you any treats? Are you hungry? Do you want some milk? Or, I don't know, tuna? Something? She just starts stroking the cat.
Bo leans down towards Jane again and goes, she talked to me like that one time. Just once. Actually, I'm lying. She never talked to me like that.
Jane just looks at Bo, like, baffled. She doesn't say anything. She just gives you, like, a really baffled look. Like, I don't know what you're trying to tell me.
I don't know what I'm saying either. Anyways, the reason I was here is, you remember that botched announcement I made earlier. Where is it that you need to go?
Oh, yes. So I am heading for S2010J12. I have a very exciting project waiting for me.
That's a Jupiter moon, is that right?
Yes.
So upon realizing where they have to go, Bo's demeanor changes a bit. Like, he kind of deflates a little bit. It's like, alright, going to Jupiter then. Alright.
No, not to Jupiter, just to one of Jupiter's moons.
Jupiter's a big place. It's got a lot of moons. I'm just the general Jupiter area. Perfect. And he just kind of walks out to head back towards the cockpit. And then turns around at the door and goes, did you say you're good with navigation?
Yes, it's one of my proficiencies, in fact. I've had to travel a lot for my line of work. Do you require a navigator?
You got a weird way of talking. At this point, I'd say you're probably better at it than I am. So why don't we give that a shot? Come on, I'll take you to the cockpit.
Alright, so the two of you are heading into the cockpit?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I'm following now at this point because I want to see what's going to happen.
Okay.
Do we realize you're skulking behind, or should I make a rollgram?
No. How about Io makes a very big show of kissing Dr. Parsnip on the head, and then immediately gets up, back to sulking, and follows the two of them out of the room.
Do you want to make a perception roll? I was about to make a navigation roll.
Oh, well, I was going to make a perception roll to see if Io being stealthy about following us is, in the sense that you're following and don't want us to know, or are you just kind of trailing behind us?
No, I'm definitely making it known that I'm following you.
Well,
so,
then there's no need to make a roll then.
Yeah.
Okay, so for the navigation roll, the way rolling in this game works is everybody is trying to roll a number of suits on some custom D6s that come with the game. The 4 suits fall into basically stones for strength, gales for agility and perception, flames for intelligence or wisdom, and brooks for speech checks of all types. I'm going to call this a flames check because that seems to match the most with like map knowledge and stuff. And to start, every player starts with a dice pool of 3. The challenge, I'm going to say, is a level 2 challenge because I've got a card that says I can do that. And because Jane has a navigator perk, I'm going to say she can actually get an extra bonus dice on this roll.
Okay. It's flames?
It is flames.
Alright, I got a flames, and I got a weave. I got a strike. And I got a strike. But I succeed, because I got a weave.
Yes. Did you re-roll the weave?
Yes. But first roll, I got a flames and a weave.
Okay, yeah. So you already succeeded.
Yeah. So I don't know why I bothered to keep rolling.
Because rolling dice is fun.
If you roll 2 higher than the challenge, that counts as an epic success, like rolling a natural 20. And if you get two strikes on something, that's that's like rolling a natural 1. So you can't have epic successes and failures. If you succeed a roll, you cannot take a strike, and this game uses basically 3 strikes you're out instead of an HP in the basic roll set. There's an advanced roll set that we can probably cover in a later campaign.
But we're little babies for now. We're not doing that.
Little babies.
It's more narratively interesting, I think.
Oh, that's fine. We'll get to it. It's cool.
Exactly. All right. So, you pretty handily just figure out a route. It's usually about a 12-hour journey, but based on the current relative positions of, like, Ceres and the moon, you're able to make it there in about 10 hours.
Astrophysicists everywhere are already writing you just really angry letters.
It's made up, damn it.
Would Io know anything about our destination? With, like, my background? Would this have been one of many places that Io visited?
How connected are you to Ganymede University?
I've heard of it.
Or to the scientific community in Ganymede University?
Science. I feel like I would be, with my background, I would be familiar with science-y things and the university.
Okay, you can make a flames check as well.
We'll just see how well I know it.
Make it difficult, though.
I'm afraid the only card I have is a 2.
Damn it, Graham.
Would, like, backstory count at all with an additional die?
Which backstory?
Rocket setter?
Or
rocket setter?
I
can read stuff.
I'm trying to think of whether there's a reason you would have been there, because there's pretty much only one thing on this little moon. Yeah, you can give it a shot. We'll give you we'll give you a 4 dice for it.
All right, and you said flames?
Yep, 2 flames or more.
Okay.
Are you dropping them one at a time?
I am. I have a very small space to work with.
Okay.
So, weave and flames.
Okay.
Another weave.
Ooh.
And flames.
Oh, wow.
Damn!
So that counts as an epic success.
Yeah.
You know...
Take
you know
that!
So much about where we're going.
I'm going to say, during one of your, like, epic battles with, a pirate of some sort, while you were sort of passing through the Jovian Ascendancy, you sort of took a brief break on this moon and noticed that there was basically one place on there. It was labeled Ganymede University Wanderer Incident Research Facility. And you just happened to remember that. You did not go inside because I think it said authorized personnel only on the sign on the door. And at the time, you probably, I don't know, you may not have had like a good reason to want to go in there.
Gotcha.
Unless you were super curious, but...
Depending on what I was doing, probably not.
Yeah, I think you were sort of mid-battle at that point.
Yeah, that's
They're
kind
just
of
like, oh hey,
involved.
that thing.
So, taking Bo's advice, Io kind of walks over to one of the consoles in the cockpit and like leans on it and looks directly at Jane and just goes, "So Jane, how you doing?"
Holy shit.
Jane looks at you quizzically for a second and then sort of like leans a little bit closer, like not like so close that it's like super uncomfortable, but as if she's trying to see something on your face just a teeny little bit better. And then she says, Is it possible you have 2 people inside of you?
I mean, anything is possible, really.
Alright, just curious. I'm well, how are you? How are either of you?
Io creeps a little bit closer to Jane, much like, mimicking what Jane did to Io, and asks, what are we going to this destination for?
I am going to investigate the ruins of a research facility.
Exhilarating. I'm so glad we're doing this.
It's very exciting.
Great. Yeah, super exciting. And Io just shrugs and walks away from Jane.
I felt like that was going well for a little while. What happened?
I got bored.
Okay.
I got bored.
Did you leave, Io?
I'm still in the cockpit. I
okay.
walked away from
yeah.
Jane.
Gotcha.
I just love the image of both of us, like each staring into one of the other person's eyeballs, like closer.
Slowly getting closer to each other. Yeah, that was weird.
Like 2 people trying to look down opposite ends of a very short telescope, just like.
Yeah. So Bo's like, well, if you want to punch that in, we got about 10 hours to kill, and it's gonna be thrilling.
Fantastic.
I'm gonna go to my room. If you need anything...
No, you're not.
I'm not.
No, you're not.
Why am I not?
You're not leaving me alone.
Well, you can go to your room, young lady.
Perfect. And Io just exits the cockpit, leaving Bo behind.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn around to Jane and shrug. If you need something, let Pixel know, let me know. Otherwise, make yourself at home. And he strolls out of the cockpit.
Io yells from the hall, do not let me know.
And then I said, yeah, I didn't mention your name for a reason. Jesus. Fuck. Gee. Walks out of the room just muttering to himself. So the way our ship is set up, we can see it, the viewers can't, but eventually we'll put up pictures and junk and stuff once it doesn't look like, once it looks more than like a couple of blocks, maybe. But the way it's set up, there's crew quarters on either side of the cargo bay, and I'd like to imagine that we have probably, 4 rooms, Graham?
I'd say at least 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Bo and Io are probably not on the same side of the ship. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I don't know where Jane ended up, but just, yeah.
Goody.
Yeah. And I think that's a decision that Jane herself can make. But yeah, Bo is going back to his quarters.
So Jane watches them exit just in apathetic silence, and then turns to the console and punches in the coordinates competently and tells the ship to go. And then walks to her chambers, selects pulls from her bag a book about old Renaissance art and pre-Raphaelite painters, and takes that back to the cockpit and sits in the cockpit and reads.
Are you kind of watching the console while you're reading, or you just kind of...
I'm just reading.
Okay. Io, what are you doing in your room?
Get back to me.
Okay. While you are a couple of hours out from Ceres, you, Jane, start to hear a ping on the ship's console. There is sensors picking up a distress signal from a ship nearby.
Are you sure you want Jane to be the only one to notice that there's a distress signal?
I think it's perfect.
Me too.
Well, she's in the cockpit, so what does she do? She's, where the system would be.
I lean over and look at it with no curiosity whatsoever. And can I tell what kind of ship it is?
You can make a perception check.
Perception is what?
Gales. That is a Gales, and
so I get 4.
That is also your focus suit, as I recall.
I got 2.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
That is...
I got 3.
With that, you can tell that it is a transport cargo ship. It appears to have all, legitimate tags, but it is displaying distress from a recent pirate attack.
So I turn it off, And then, also because I don't want my character to be completely unlikable, I turn it, especially because I made a crack about dead pets earlier.
That's true.
So I, turn it off, and then I hesitate again, and then I go, maybe we should tell them that there's somebody in trouble.
I will inform them. Io and Bo, you both receive a message over the intercom. The ship is picking up a distress beacon. It appears to be a cargo transport that was recently attacked by pirates.
So Io decides to head to the cockpit to see what's going on.
You find Jane standing in the cockpit for the first time. She did not even look like this when she was standing on the table away from the cat. For the first time, looking distinctly uncomfortable.
There's something happening with your face, Jane? Are you okay?
She doesn't say anything. She stares at you and then points at the distress signal, which is
I tried. So Io looks to where Jane is staring and goes over to, I guess, our systems to see if she can get any more information and hopefully wait for Bo.
So Bo's sitting at his desk and he's basically just tinkering with his guns, cleaning them or whatever, and he looks up and goes, "Are you saying that, you know what, let's crowdsource this. What did the other two say? Because I don't really give a shit."
Jane turned the signal off and then informed Io and you. Io has gone to the cockpit.
So we got a flip-flopper. Okay. Ah, fuck it. He gets up and puts on his jacket and heads to the cockpit.
Jane has started pacing.
So Io is punching in the information to steer the ship, I guess, towards the distress beacon. Io's already made up her mind. She's either going to get paid or see what she can find on the ship to salvage and bring back to sell later.
Okay. So as you start to approach, there is a hail from the ship.
Are they saying anything, or they're just trying to communicate with us?
Yeah, they're basically dialing your phone.
They're trying to communicate with us?
Is it
okay.
the standard
So,
hail signal? Like, beep?
Pixel, will you patch them in with us? I can grace them with my charming personality.
Bo comes sprinting into the cockpit like, no, I got it, for fuck's sake.
Pixel patches you through, and all you hear is a scream.
You hear that gurgle at the end? That didn't sound good. Jesus. Are we still, Yeah, fuck it, let's go.
Already ahead of you, Bo.
Hi there, this is Perry, just stepping in to say a couple of thank yous. Thank you to you for listening. If you've made it this far, we really appreciate it. And if you enjoyed yourself, you can always rate, review, and subscribe to let us know. I also want to thank the band E57 for the use of their song Stroke off of their album Heavy Seas and Smashing Skies. You can find their music on iTunes, Spotify, and most music platforms. Thanks again, and we hope to see you next time. What's a better word than possession, guys? We can edit that shit out. What the fuck is the word I'm looking for?
Keepsake.
It's just a keepsake.
Heirloom?
My heirloom teddy bear?
It's been passed down in the two family for centuries. That's why it looks like hell.